game of story. And for this, I just need somebody to shout out the last film they went to see.
I love you, man.
What was that one?
I love you, man.
I love you, man. Okay. And I'd also like somebody to shout out the name of the last book they read.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. Okay.
Is that an erotic novel?
I won't have Roald Dahl's name sullied. If we combine the two of those together, we get I love you, Mr. Fox. Okay. Okay. For this one, I just need Sasha to come forward if you can just help us out. Basically, the four of us are going to be telling you the story of Fantastic Mr. Fox. When our good friend Sasha here...
I love you, Mr. Fox.
Sorry. You're right. I love you, Mr. Fox. That's the name of our story. When Sasha points at one of us...
Mr. Fox had lots of eyes.
They will speak. Whenever Sasha is pointing at somebody, they'll speak. Sasha will move finger from person to person.
And then he decided to take his collection of eyes.
If Sasha points at somebody and they are unable to think of something, such as... You are all to shout out, die. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Die! Okay, so give a round of applause for the game of story. Mr. Fox had been living in his fox home for several years. He had always been a lonely fox. He could never find a woman or even a vixen who would be interested in his charms to help him get rid of his lonely existence. So Mr. Fox decided he'd have to take things into his own hands.
He went speed dating. That very night. He was nervous about it. He'd sweated 15 buckets. He knew he'd sweated 15 buckets because he'd counted the buckets that he'd sweated into. He put on his best suit and set out for the speed dating. Ooh, he was wet with excitement.
The first woman he met was Charlene. She had long red hair, which he liked, but she smelled of human. He had no interest. He waited for the buzzer. He moved on to the next one.
The next one was a female badger. Okay, he tried human. That didn't work out. Sure, he was open-minded. He heard badgers did all sorts of things in their burrow. So, Mr. Fox, with his best charms, remembering what he'd read in the charm book, always give them compliments. You look very badgery, he said.
I love the black and white stripes. And I don't mind what my friends say. They look down on foxes who go out with badgers because species shouldn't mix. They say it's wrong, but I say you're the one for me, possibly. I don't really know you, but we've got another 2 minutes.
And that was 2 minutes was enough for the badger to propose to the beaver or whatever it was. And badger proposed to the fox and... Okay, so that's me fucking so. Let's have a number between 1 and 20.
17.
17, okay. Let's give a round of applause for chapter 17 of I Love You, Mr. Fox.
Mrs. Irene Badger was satisfied with her lot in life. She had a weird litter of half fox, half badger children, all black and white and ginger.
She loved them all the same, but the one with who looked like a badger she loved the most. The others she almost flushed down, but didn't tell them this until they turned 18.
Now, Mr. Fox had noticed that his wife treated some of the children differently.
He said, "Hey, what's up? I've noticed that Foxy Jr. here has got a little bit of,
Okay, let's get a number between 17 and 30.
23.
23. Chapter 23 of I Love You, Mr. Fox.
I don't love you, Mr. Fox. I know it goes against everything this story should be. What are you talking about, he said. This isn't a story. Haven't you noticed Roald Dahl sitting above us, observing our every move?
And Roald has decided that he wants to go with me. You see, Roald loves badgers. Didn't you know? Haven't you?
Read any of his stories?
Mr. Fox thought through the Roald Dahl catalogue. Beautiful badgers? No, that didn't ring any bells.
Fantastic foals? No, but it was close. Then suddenly it hit him like something hitting him on the head very hard.
It was a hammer that was above ground. The farmers above had found the foxhole. Yes, now we will be free of the plight of foxes and badger children that are plaguing this land.
They unleashed their mighty arsenal of hammers. Hammering away, they had sledgehammers, those plastic hammers, claw hammers, and all sorts of other devices that they used. Oh, the blood flowed like blood flowing from arteries.
Stop, stop! It was Charlene, the first woman that Mr. Fox had dated when he was on his plight to find somebody. Stop, stop! Charlene was the farmer's wife. She had a love for Mr. Fox. I love you, Mr. Fox!
But she was obsessed with him.
She couldn't get him out of her mind, that red
Hair, that beautiful mane, the suits that he wore with no pants.
If you want to kill the fox, you're going to have to kill me too, Charlene proclaimed.
Oh, I can't believe I fell for the old farmer's wife disguised as a fox going speed dating.
Trick. The oldest trick in the book.
Well, I guess that's the end of the road for me, as I'm losing a lot of blood and my consciousness is slipping away.
And he died right there in front of Charlene. But the thing was...
She said, just as he died, "I love you, Mr. Fox," and took her own life with a hammer.